Bulletin. Once again, this is Bottom Line Africa right on KTN News, and tonight we're going to talk about women and leadership. And in the studio, I have two ladies with me, very vocal about women leadership in Africa. They're Florence Mashio. She is a program manager with Equality Now.
Yes,
Good evening, Florence. Welcome to the show.
Thank
we also
you.
have Josephine Mungare, who is the FIDE Kenya chairperson.
Good evening.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Florence, let me begin with you. Earlier in our highlights, you did indicate that, women in Africa don't want just chocolate and flowers and is it cakes for Valentine's? You want something else. Can you perhaps tell us?
And dinner. I think for me, my chocolate or my flowers would be to see inclusion of women in leadership, especially in this country, and to see more progressive election of women in positions of power and in decision-making positions.
Yes.
I would also like to see women and girls being protected, structures being put in place, safe spaces for women in all areas. We just recently had the story of Kenyatta National Hospital and women not being safe even when they are in their most vulnerable of states. So for me, the chocolates and the flowers that I'd like to see that my government or African governments are giving women include safety and includes participation in decision-making positions.
That sounds like a very good Valentine message to the women.
That would be the best.
Josephine, what are your chocolates and roses?
Today, I would like to celebrate the former president of Liberia, Elizabeth Sirleaf Johnson. She just won the Mo Ibrahim Award, and that just shows that women can make it.
Yes.
Through her leadership, she was recognized the last 5 years. There was nobody to take that award. So it just shows that if women are given a chance, an opportunity, they will do it. And that's a choice, that's a chance that has been given to an African woman, and she led the country from civil war to stability to peace, and was able to be awarded one of the prestigious awards in the world. So for me, that's my Valentine, that women have capacity to lead, have proven that they can lead, and world over we've seen countries that are steered by women doing much, much better out there.
Yes. And I did some research before this show, and apparently in the past 20 years, sub-Saharan Africa, if you dispute these figures, but they feel free to dispute them, apparently the continent has achieved some of the most dramatic breakthrough when it comes to women leadership. And it has rose, that is women leadership has rose from 9.8% in 1995 to 23.2% today. Apparently, Rwanda, which has about 63.8% female representation, is the best in the world. I mean, things are not that bad in Africa.
Oh, really?
Let me start with you.
With 23%. I mean, just
63%.
No, looking just
one Rwanda as an
that
example.
is just one country out of how many? 50 what?
Okay.
Yes. So for me, it's just like having 10 children, and one went to school and did very well, and the other 9 and never even managed to reach to standard 8. So while I am happy that one child actually did very well, I am worried about my 9 that are not doing very well in school. So Rwanda is doing very well, but
okay,
Kenya.
let me put it. We're going to come to Kenya shortly. Let me put it this way: 6 out of the top 15 countries in Africa, are African across the world when it comes to women in leadership, and they include Seychelles, which has about 43.8%, Senegal 42.7%, South Africa 41.7%. I mean, Africa is moving in the right direction.
Yeah, but we are not at the top yet, because if we've had 9 women presidents since we started self-rule in Africa. And out of how many male presidents? Just remind me.
50-something.
Yeah. We are not doing very well. We are not doing well at all. We can do better. I was in Senegal late last year. And yes, in the county governments, they had 47%. In the national government, they told me the women representative is quite high, actually, above 42. But those are like tokenism. Countries that have made deliberate efforts to make sure women are at the top. Rwanda, it was a deliberate effort.
Yes.
Tanzania next door is at 33%. Uganda is ahead of Kenya. So Africa, and South Africa is at 42, by the way. If Africa made a deliberate effort, we can be at 50-50. Why are we talking about percentages? We are 52% in Kenya. The population of women is 52%. Why should we be having 23% in Kenya? Why?
And
why are we not at 50%?
And speaking about Kenya, Florence, apparently, Kenya is ranked number 75.
Imagine. How nice.
And countries like Eritrea, Ethiopia, which are known to be not very much democratic, Zimbabwe, among all countries, are ranked better than Kenya. What is the problem in this country?
I think we don't have political will. The countries that we've mentioned that have done, they've made progress where women leadership is concerned, are countries that have made deliberate effort to ensure that women are in positions of power. If you see Senegal, I went down in Senegal in 2016, and I went down to rural Senegal.
Yes.
The women are empowered. The government had created an economic program, an agricultural economic program, recognizing that women are the ones that run agriculture in Senegal, and therefore giving them incentives of owning land, of buying fertilizer, and they were the ones producing food for Senegal. So a government continuously making progress and effort to ensure that its women are empowered and its women have the tools to succeed, then you will see that country excelling, even in leadership positions. In this country, I will ask you, have we done that?
That is, I think, a very important question.
In Malawi, the other day when Joyce Banda was the president,
Yes.
they had a surplus maize. We were buying maize from Malawi.
And she dismally performed in the next election.
Yeah, well, she
Yeah,
was
because
not
she was
elected,
not elected.
But when she was
What
the
informs
leader,
that? Yes.
it's patriarchy. I mean, there's nothing else to say, whatever. It's not because women cannot be good leadership. It's just that people are socialized to imagine that the boy child is a better leader than the female child. But look at it. When Malawi had a woman president, we bought maize from it. Kenya, we have got the best climate. Tropical Africa. We have got rains. We've got arable land. We have got very little dry land, but we are buying maize. We just bought maize, billions worth of maize.
So are you blaming this to bad, poor leadership or
Yeah,
the men?
patriarchy. Because of patriarchy, we do not give people capacity. I mean, officers that they have capacity to run. We give our friends offices because they are our friends, not because they have proven leadership skills. If you get proven leadership skills, you will not have bad leadership policies. You will not be importing food in 2017. When we have how many acres in Tana River set aside by the government, billions of money pumped there, and we didn't say a grain. We imported maize. Ask yourself why. Is it because the people there do not know that we can grow maize there and irrigate it and get more maize? No.
Florence,
And yet, Florence is telling you about Senegal. I was in Senegal myself. The education standards of the Senegalese woman are far much behind than the Kenyan woman. The Kenyan woman is a very educated woman. Just go to our universities. Do now an analysis of who is who in the banking sector, for instance. The bank managers have overtaken the women, have overtaken the banking sector. Maybe they are not in the boardrooms, but they are running the banks. They are keeping your cash. Successful banks have invested in women managers.
So
Yes.
you expect the same thing to be done in government?
Yes.
Now,
Of course.
Florence, for example, there are 47 women representatives in
Yes,
parliament.
yes.
There's so many people who are asking, what are they doing to change leadership?
I
If
will-
women leadership is that rosy and good.
Whoever is asking that, I will ask them. We have had men representing us since we got independence. What have they done? What do we have to show for the male leadership that we have? These women, pushed by the Constitution, is when we have had women representation. We are trying to catch up with what men have been having all these years. So to expect them in 2 terms to be doing more than the many men that we have in parliament, being even the minority, not being able to push in bills because of the numbers, then I think we're really pushing women to do what is impossible at the moment, given the numbers they have within parliament. Yes.
Josephine, the country, of course, Kenya is just from a fresh election. Of course, it was highly disputed. That is a debate for another day. But women did somehow better. There are women governors now compared to 2013. How would you rate the 2017 general election?
For the women of Kenya, we still did not do what we expected to do. We got 23 single constituency MPs, up from 16 last time. We have 3 governors. We didn't have any. We have 3 senators. We have 94 women MCAs. For us, okay, it's a step in the right direction.
Yes.
But we could do better because we have 52%. That means that women have capacity to elect women, given an opportunity and education to understand that these women can make good leaders.
Florence,
now,
yes.
now, just before you leave the
Yes.
issue of women and elections, you are a Kenyan. You were here from March 2017 to August. There was so much violence, so much was done by our people in leadership to make sure that the women did not compete in a fair playing, whatever. We saw a lot of violence meted against women at nomination level, across political divide, without any exception. And therefore, that reduced the number of women who offered themselves for leadership. We were told in 2013 elections, we had an equal percentage of both men and women being elected. The women, the statisticians told us that the women who offered themselves for elections, 13% went through. Similarly for men who offered themselves, 13% went through. So the same number of men and women were elected. It's just the ratios that were different. So what we would like maybe policies to see is that even at nomination, there is no violence. People are given an opportunity to compete on the ideology and policies and issue. Not who is stronger now, who can hire more goons, who can buy more changa, who has more money. No, that is not what makes leadership.
Florence, I think you've delivered your point fair enough. Now, Florence, let me get this clear. This might sound like an ignorant question. Are you linking good governance directly with women who are in leadership? Does it necessarily mean that if women are in leadership, then naturally good governance is there?
I'd like to see more women so we can do comparisons. If we had more women in leadership, we would be able to see. Right now we're talking, if we just talk governors only, we'll be talking 3 out of what? 3 out of 44. So 44 and 3 really we can't compare. If we had 20 and 24 or 20 and, you know, like
Rwanda,
almost half and
Rwanda,
half.
Rwanda, let's go continental,
Yes.
narrow down in Kenya alone. Rwanda has about 63.2